Everybody's talking about rock cracker. Everybody's talking about ship armor and who's going to dominate PvP. And yeah, that's real. That matters. But I've been thinking about the verse, looking at what 4.7 actually does to the economy, and there are two markets forming right now that nobody's positioning for. A premium crafted weapon market and a high-grade ore market. Both of them player-driven, both of them with serious aUEC attached. And at Starcom, we're preparing for this right now. I'm John, Industrial Growth Lead for Starcom's Industrial Division, and this is your 4.7 Economic Intelligence Briefing.
So, let's establish the foundation. Because if you haven't been tracking the 4.7 patch closely, you might not fully appreciate what's just landed. 4.7 introduces the first iteration of crafting in Star Citizen. It's not a full system yet. CIG is calling it Crafting Tier 0. But don't let that label fool you. The systems are live, they work, kind of, and they are already shaping player behavior. Here's how it works. You obtain an item fabricator. You can buy one from any refinery shop across Stanton or Pyro. You place it physically in your ship or your hab. It becomes your personal manufacturing station.
From there, everything runs on blueprints. Blueprints are your recipes. They tell the fabricator what to build and what materials it needs. You start with a small set of default blueprints, and you earn more through contracts and mission rewards. Once you have a blueprint, it's bound to your account permanently. You keep it through death and through server resets. It's yours. Here's where it gets really interesting for us as an industrial org. The quality of the materials you put into the fabricator directly determines the stats of what comes out. Most rocks in the verse are going to give you materials in the 200 to 600 quality range. That's your baseline. Standard crafted gear. Nothing to write home about.
But if you search, and I mean really search, for rocks above 600 quality, the fabricator produces gear that outperforms anything you can buy from an NPC store. Better fire rates, better armor durability, better damage output. We're talking stat boosting that the base shop versions simply cannot match. So, premium crafted weapons. Think about what this means in practical terms. Right now, if a player wants a P6LR sniper rifle or any other FPS weapon, they buy it from an NPC shop. Fixed stats, fixed performance. Everyone who buys the same gun has the same gun.
Crafting breaks that chain. A player-crafted weapon, made with quality materials, isn't the same weapon. It has better numbers. It performs better in combat. And here's the thing. Most players do not have the time or the patience to grind mining, run the crafting chain, and have the right blueprints. Ultimately, they will pay someone who does. This is where the crafted weapon market comes from. It emerges organically. A player who has spent hours mining rocks, earned the blueprint through mission grinding, and refined everything correctly, they can now produce a weapon that is genuinely and mechanically superior to the in-game stores. And there will be a market of combat-focused players, fighters, mercenaries, PvP players, who want that edge and don't want to do the industrial work to get it. The question is, who can actually serve that market at scale? A solo crafter can make a handful of weapons, maybe supply their friends, but you can't build a market on that. To serve a crafted weapon market at scale, you need a reliable supply of high-grade ore, and that means organized, coordinated mining operations, multiple ships, division of labor, miners who know where to look and how to read quality, and fabricators who can turn that raw material into finished product consistently.
That is not a solo operation. That is an organization. The other side of it is the high-grade resource market. And honestly, this one might be even bigger.
Here's the dynamic at play. Crafting creates demand for premium materials, but not every crafter wants to mine, or frankly, have the patience to spend hours hunting quality rocks in asteroid belts. Finding those rocks requires time. It requires knowing where to look and taking the risk to mine in areas popular for pirating. In the current patch, you can sort of identify rock type from distance, but not quality. Every rock is a manual check, and who wants that to be their gameplay loop? What this creates is a supply gap. Players who want to craft premium gear need premium materials, but the supply of those materials is limited by how many players are willing and able to do the work of finding them. So the market emerges. Elite miners running organized operations, mining higher quality rocks to then sell refined grade-stamped materials directly to crafters who don't want to mine. The player then pays a premium over standard commodity market price because the material quality is the product. They're not buying resources. They're buying a crafted weapons stat modifier, delivered as raw material. Then, you've got yourself an arms dealer selling those upgraded premium weapons. Alpha 4.7 even helps miners find where to look. The updated map system now shows resource data when you zoom into planets and moons, helping industrial operators plan routes before they even leave the station. That's a meaningful quality of life change for organized mining. It means less wasted quantum fuel, more efficient mining runs. And then there's the rock cracker operations themselves. The new PvE PvP content. Over 110 breaker stations scattered across the belt. Yes, these are dungeon-style missions, combat-focused, but they also yield resources. An industrial org that can provide its own security, fighters running escort while miners work the belt, has access to resource opportunities that solo operators would struggle to safely exploit.
That's vertical integration. That's what separates a mining org from a mining player. So where does Starcom sit in all of this? Starcom Intergalactic has been built around industrial gameplay. We have been mining, refining, hauling, and coordinating operations across Stanton and Pyro for years. This patch update is what we hope to be what takes us from up-and-coming industrial group based in Hurston to multi-system industrial giant.
We want to grow our footprint in the verse and strengthen our industrial workforce as crafting Tier 0 begins. That's the 4.7 economic picture from the industrial division's perspective. 2 markets forming, 2 opportunities for organized industrial players, and a window, right now, to stake your position before the rest of the verse catches up.
If industrial gameplay is your focus, and you want to operate at scale rather than solo, Starcom is where you can build that. We have the fleet, the infrastructure, and the operations to make this work at a level a solo player simply can't match. Consider joining us as we grow our operations so you can be the one who says, I was there at the beginning. For Starcom Intergalactic, I'm John, Industrial Growth Lead. Thanks for watching.